Hey guys, Pastor Mike here. Going to field some of your plus side questions today. Questions that I've heard from people in the hallway and from folks in small groups, just feedback from the Affinity team visits. A couple of folks asked about the East Campus. Did that make sense? Why were we starting a new congregation? Just a reminder, we actually received a grant from the Missouri Conference, a 3-year grant to help us fund and launch that East Campus. So most of the East Campus is being funded from that grant, and then their donations are basically making that a self-sufficient financial congregation. Ask what is being done to grow our congregation. Back in January, we had a retreat with a company called Intentional Churches that helped us drill down on our strategic planning. We did this 18 months ago as well. We have identified 2 WIN teams. WIN stands for What's Important Now, and those 2 WIN teams are expansion and kids ministry. We want to make sure that we pour in and resource, rejuvenate our kids ministry to get it to the level where it's never been before. We believe that kids ministry is essential to this church. And then the expansion team is about developing an online campus and also exploring times to add an additional worship service here at Morning Star, as well as programs and events designed to reach out to people who aren't currently attending church. Somebody asked, are we behind on bills? Is that the reason? No, we're not behind on bills. We've been able to keep all of our payments regular to the bank and every other bill. We're just to a point where our funding has come down. Our revenues, our tithes, and our offerings has decreased, and we are paying too much on mortgage, principal, and interest, and we've got to get that right-sized, plus side. Did this come up all of a sudden, this campaign? No, this actually, the genesis of this campaign was 2 years ago when we took that year to listen for God's vision. We brought in a consultant. He met with groups and individuals within the church and discerned, is this the right time for a capital campaign? What do we want to do? Do we do just debt, or do we do building on top of that? And it was decided we need to do a campaign. We need to wait probably a year, which is what we did. And we started working on this last January before I went to sabbatical, and then came back and have been working all fall and all spring on it. The congregation also weighed in and said, hey, we don't want to build anything else. Those things are nice, but they're luxuries. We need to address our debt, which is exactly what we've done in this. Actually leads to one of the next questions. Are we going to get out of debt and then go back in and just build more? And right now there are no plans for any of that on the board. In doing work with our strategic planning company, we feel like we could grow this campus at Darden to 3,000 plus people without having to build anything. And as a reminder, we don't build anything of any kind of size or significance here without bringing that to a congregation multiple times and taking a congregational vote. The leadership, the staff, I don't make that kind of decision. The church has to make that decision. Somebody asked about, hey, have we considered selling some of the land that we really aren't using right now? The finance team has looked into that. We have talked to realtors. Right now, we don't feel like it makes the most sense. Plus, that land is also used as collateral against the loans that we currently have. It's something that the finance team will continue to evaluate on a year-to-year basis, along with any plans that we have to actually utilize that land. Last question, have we done everything else to resolve this before bringing this burden, ask, invite to the congregation? And the truth is, yeah, our staff has and leadership have worked together for 2 years to really tighten our belt and live as lean as possible. We believe and we are committed to continue to live lean like that, especially during these next 3 years of the Plus Side campaign. We're going to continue to keep the principal and interest payments inside our operating budget so that every dollar given to Plus Side goes directly to additional principal. Hey, probably some more questions that I'll answer next week. Thanks for tuning in. As a reminder, man, your booklet that we distributed. If you haven't got one, please pick one up this weekend and read through that. It's got tons of great information. A lot of these answers are in the FAQ page. There's a great devotion, 21-day devotion that you could start this week and still finish by the end of the campaign. Really urge you to do that and keep praying that campaign prayer. This is not just simply a financial decision. This is not the church making an ask for the money. It's the church asking you, us asking you to go to God and pray, God, what would you do through me? What do you want to do through me? When we are talking to God, when we're listening to God, when God is the one directing our path, He will show us the way and give us the means to accomplish that vision, to get all of us to the plus side. Hope those answers helped, and I'll see you in worship this weekend. God bless you.